Man's home is on the ground. Yet man, with typical recklessness and almost willful resolve to destroy himself, has made the ground the most dangerous of the three elements. Of travel by land, sea or air, this is the most dangerous. 9 out of 10 travel fatalities occur on the roads. Why? Because one of man's most faithful servants, with terrifying rapidity, becomes a lethal master. But the fact remains that a car doesn't normally get out of control unless the driver loses control. The hidden factor behind an alarming proportion of accidents is alcohol, a certain means of loosening control. A group of Australian doctors has recorded that the drunken driver is a major factor in most serious accidents. The doctors found that official figures on the causes of accidents grossly underestimated the part played by alcohol. The reason was the absence of adequate standards to determine under the influence. The police know that alcohol is an insidious contributor to many accidents, but in their reports, alcohol can't always be blamed unless they can prove its influence. A surprisingly small amount of alcohol is required to affect a driver's judgment. For the average man, 3 or 4 glasses of beer drunk quickly are enough to make the difference between a safe and an unsafe driver. Government pathologists, after many post-mortem examinations, believe that alcohol plays a significant part in up to 50% of road fatalities. 3 or 4 quick beers on an empty stomach send the alcohol content of the blood rising sharply. Sipped slowly with food, drink has a far less dangerous effect. There's only one way of measuring the effect of alcohol accurately: by scientific test. That's why the blood alcohol test is advocated by doctors, police and magistrates, to free the innocent of suspicion and help dispense justice. Who is protected if a blood test is refused? This man? A few drinks to a young couple may seem like adventure. An adventure that ends like this. A vehicle traveling at 60 miles an hour generates an impact equivalent to dropping a car from a 9-story building. And the explosive force behind such a crash, not petrol, not horsepower, but 3 or 4 ounces of alcohol. It's the families who are left that regret the action of the bottle bug. Official statistics show that in a young Australian family of 5, 1 member on the average will become the victim of a road accident, injured or killed. A steady hand and unimpaired judgment are essential in modern traffic. A driver must maintain the utmost driving skill to contend with the great kaleidoscopic mass of travelling humanity he meets on our overburdened roads. More than 2,000 people doomed to die on the Australian roads in the next 12 months are grim evidence that the driver is not always master of his vehicle. 2,000 life-loving people. If an atom bomb were to remove them all, suddenly, the papers would say the greatest tragedy since the flood. Yet it's happening every year on the roads. A modern civil war in which these are the aggressor's bombs. Driving is so automatic that even a drunk may appear to be making no faults. It's judgment and quickness of reaction that drink destroys. The Road Safety Council has never said, don't drink. It does say, if you drive, don't drink. If you've been celebrating and a friend has had only 1 or 2 drinks, let him drive. Passengers are the most vulnerable group of road accident victims. Vehicle drivers, the most frequent cause of homicide on the road. When slightly under the influence, a person may seem to drive well, but he acts carelessly. Alcohol, far from being a stimulant, depresses mental alertness. It weakens the driver's ability to criticize his own driving. He thinks he can cope with anything. The all too familiar race. Like the man shutting the stable door too late. The race to save life in an accident that need not have happened. So often, it's the innocent party in an accident, man, woman or child, that pays the supreme price of someone else's carelessness, is it? Or overindulgence? Or homicide? A Hobart Magistrate, Mr. Geoff Sorell, who's a member of the Road Safety Council, has heard the story of sudden death on the road at too many inquests.
The record of the intoxicated driver should be for everybody a sobering thought. Drinking and driving form an unholy alliance from which nobody can benefit. It is essential in the interest of public safety that you never drive after drinking. You owe this duty to yourself, your passengers and your fellow men. Don't add to the carnage of the car age.